Great.
And now we're live after just a touch little technical difficulties here on Lake Factory Radio. So we have some now new friends and that Captain Danger with us.
What's up?
Why I forgot the
Yes.
widescreen zoom. And that.
Right. We got Keith Ede, known as Ede, on the bass.
What up,
We got
guys?
Roger, what's up? Roger Juice Benford on the drums.
Yo. Hey, yo.
And I'm Aaron Steinberg on the guitar.
Cool. Yeah, it was great. Sort of talking since what? Fall? When I'm blanking on the guy's name, that Christopher guy.
Yes,
Sent you
Christopher
over your
B.
stuff.
tracked you down.
Yeah. Well, previously, a year prior, he tracked us down, but then he just keeps referring people over. And that. But the first thing is probably something sort of got like numerous times of. So where did the name come from?
I think we wanted something that felt like we were reaching for something bigger, something better in a way a 6-year-old kid might. Captain Danger, that's ambitious. We're going to reach out and grab it. And whatever that adventure is, we're ready.
Ah,
Wouldn't you say?
anyone else have any input?
Keith, what do you think of when you hear Captain Danger?
Jeremiah, let me be the first to say that I'm the last one to the party. So I came on aboard the ship of Captain Danger later on in the game. And what I thought about it when I first got on board was the whole Captain Danger thing is like, we're going to take some chances. You know what I'm saying? So metaphorically speaking, we jumped into doing just different arrangements of songs that we all liked, and we kind of played with them. And pretty much musically, we do a lot of like, I don't know, it seems like we just kind of push the envelope a little bit. So the danger part for me is just like, hey, listen, we're going to take some chances on stage and we'll see what happens. So far, it's been good.
That's right. There's always the precipice waiting, but we never fall off. Partially because Juice is on the drums.
Captain Danger is like a mullet. It's part business, part playful. It's a seriousness in our playful nature, if you will. Like if you listen to the music, the way we play the music, we're serious about our musical expression and excellence, but we're playful with how we blend the flavors, artistically. So we have a duality.
Okay.
Sorry, did I blank out?
For a second, but you're good.
Yeah, so that's how I've always felt about the name. It's like it's like a not, don't take yourself so seriously, but I'm here for business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it comes true in the music.
It sounds, because at first that day when I got it sent over, and that, because we had a few different things going on, and that they only got 2 songs. It was sort of like the second day when I got to really listen to everything, and that then when we entered in everything in the rotation and so forth down the road, and that it's definitely creative stuff. It's many of the students up at Lakeland that it's sort of compared to our local scene that we haven't gotten much as like new tracks, but like right now that we're getting people from California here there that they're stopping in and saying, well, hey, well, I never heard of this. Who is it?
Who would do this?
They're irreverent. They must be put to a stop. But
No, because that means one thing: we're out of business if we put it to a stop.
That's right. But
So,
it's been fun getting our stuff out there. We have some curveballs in there. For instance, we take the famous song by The Cure, "Boys Don't Cry," and we play it in a roots reggae style. Um, and I know that a number of stations have written us back to say, "What? Got to play that," you know.
Mhm.
no, it's true. Especially like out here in Ohio, it's not much sort of like reggae out here. It's like a very small market of it.
Mhm.
So you go and throw that out at people. Of course, it sticks out like no other.
Right. Hopefully, it sticks out in a way that works for them. I think we might have an unfair advantage in Juice on drums, is that he's played with some great reggae artists, including Sister Nancy, who had a big song some years ago. So I don't know. I think roots reggae appeals to people, be they in Ohio or Antarctica. Maybe you're listening to it up on the space station. I hope so.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that was anything wrong. It's like you don't. It's not like that everyday tune you hear on a radio that just sticks out that way. Of oh, something different. That sounds cool. And that compared to you just turn on radio and you always hear rock or this and that, and you know, every once in a while having a little bit of a different sounds not a bad thing.
Indeed. And we really enjoyed messing with different sounds. And Keith has an incredible ability not just play bass, but to play keyboards and with real crazy sounds sometimes. And then he'll get on the vocoder on his synthesizer and add that in. Uh, Keith, when is the first time you started getting the vocoder going? When was that?
You know what? We were just messing around, and I started out just playing bass and synth bass. Um, Hold on a second. Am I still there?
Yep.
Yes.
So I started out playing bass. Hold on one second. Okay, bass and synth bass, and next thing I know, I noticed that like with Aaron and Juice, they were kind of like really, experimental with this stuff. We never really stuck to the script. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stick my vocoder on the top rack here. And if I see the opportunity, I'm gonna go ahead and play it. And I started messing around, doing old school tropes like, Zap Roger Troutman or, just anything that had that vocoder effect on one of our breakdowns. And it became kind of a cool thing to add from time to time. So it just keeps the diversity up in it, and the surprises keep coming. That was just one of them. So
It's a great thing, man. You know what else? I mean, Keith, even without the vocoder, has a lot of great ability with his voice. And I think Juice and I are always nudging him to dig into that even more. I mean, Keith has toured the world with artists like Macy Gray, uh, Dame Funk, Jody Watley, uh, and I'm glad to see that he's starting to incorporate more of his background vocals with the artists he works with, because man, you got so much to offer in that regard. Cool harmonies, cool sounds. I know Juice and I are just thrilled to have you up here on the Enterprise, on the bridge of the Enterprise.
I'm vibing off for you guys. What you talking about, man?
Especially with us in her secret treasure chest you don't know about.
That's right. More on that later, everybody.
Yeah, that's to be determined or to be announced. But sort of getting back to you guys of so what first got that mind thought of, well, I want to go into music. I want to be in a band.
Juice, how did you start playing drums? How old were you?
Man, I was young, man. They kind of parked drums in front of me. It wasn't like I came home one day from school and was like, "Hey, I want to play drums." I just remember being really, really young, and they would give me little drum sets, little toy drum sets that would break in the day. or a couple of days. And I think right then they thought it was just, something I did. But when they saw me taking it more seriously, probably in middle school, I was in the band, you know what I mean? And also playing in church. I started, playing with one of the choirs of the church, and I fell into it, man. It's hard to explain one of those things. I think we can all agree that music has been one of our most intense lovers, if you will.
Indeed. Ida, you were little when you started playing too, right? But was it bass or was it something else?
Basically, you get Christmas presents as a kid. We had little toy pianos and guitars and stuff. So started messing around with the stuff then. But it was sort of like, okay, some of that stuff was easy just to kind of pick around on the keyboards. And then you get into elementary school, doing kiddie instruments and blocks and toys. So I always had a fondness of music. And when I was around 7 years old, my dad, it was Christmas time. My dad saw that I could play bass a little bit because my cousin had a bass and I was goofing around. And he was like, man, there might be something to that. So he took me out and bought me a little Fender replica bass. And it was like, from then on, I was just into it, I'll show you guys a picture one day when I was like a kid with a little Applejack hat on and the bass, when I thought I was, a sixth member of the Jacksons or something.
Wait, I have that picture. I have that picture somewhere.
Yeah, we'll show it to them later. Like after you Photoshop it and make me look better.
No. It was great. I started on a piano. My mom put my brother and I in piano lessons. He got bored. I got real excited. Kept going. My buddy up the street showed me how to play some guitar, and then I was off and running. Played in the jazz band in high school and started writing songs and playing in open mics when I was like 13. And, this never stopped, man.
Right.
So fun.
Yeah, I got you in that. So, what was the biggest sort of influence or your influence with your sort of style of music?
A shared influence for us would be Parliament Funkadelic, wouldn't you say, Keith? That's
Definitely.
one.
Definitely.
I think we also admire Sly Stone and the Beatles, Prince. What about you, Juice?
D'Angelo, Kenny G. No, Kenny G's great, man, but actually, grew up listening to smooth jazz because my mother and my grandmother really liked smooth jazz. That's one style of music that showed me kind of like a band playing as a unit and really serving the music and just watching people interact with instrumentalists, just playing the melody and grooves, and how impactful that was to the crowd. So that stood out to me. I know I was joking about Kenny G, but people like Kirk Whalum, Will Downing, these guys, like even Sade. I feel like Sade was easy listening, smooth jazz-ish in some degrees, you know what I mean? And in the sense that it will all get played on the same kind of playlist from time to time. So yeah.
Sade's a cool example because her stuff really mixes pop, R&B, jazz. Her stuff is kind of doesn't fit too neatly here or there, but it does fit everywhere.
Mm-hmm. You know what I noticed too, Jeremiah, playing with these guys, when we're on stage, all of those influences and from the past and current and present, we just kind of like, a lot of stuff is happening spontaneously. So, it's hard to say exactly where all of it's coming from at that point, because it's just like a spark that happens. And then next thing you know, we're getting into something that maybe, neither of us had even thought of before.
No,
The
I
conversation. I was just going to say the conversation that the three of us are able to have is really huge as far as the fun of it, part of what's kind of the selling point of coming to see us perform or listen to stuff we recorded. That conversation. You can do stuff with musicians that you respect and appreciate that you can't do on your own. So it's, there's strength in numbers when it comes to music, I think.
No, it's all always goes to one thing. Sort of takes a village to sort of make a music scene and all that develop and keep going.
Sure does.
It's even
One
like venues. You look at what happened with the COVID and that many stages and that they sort of, yeah, went under because of it.
Oh, it's been so hard for the venues because of COVID. But luckily, some of the ones we hold dear here in Los Angeles have held on, including Harvell's, which has been around since 1931. So
Right.
we're glad they're still here. I guess they were probably the kind of venue we knew would figure out how to weather it. But also the Hotel Cafe, a cool venue here in Los Angeles. And recently, we've been doing some cool themed nights there where the Sunday Night Review will collect a bunch of artists and pick a genre or a personality. So we did Motown. We recently did David Bowie. So that's been fun for us to do. And we're so glad that venues like Hotel Cafe have survived somehow this COVID time.
No, yeah, it's definitely rough out there. So from that point of,
Oh man.
so how does your guys' songwriting process sort of start? Does it start off with sort of like melody, riffs?
I think it comes in
Case
every
by case, man.
case by case is right, Juice. Yeah. We've been known to write songs on stage towards the end of a gig. We sometimes get into these long gigs, and maybe Keith would start playing a certain bass line, Juice would jump on it, and then we just go. So there have been times when we've taken licks that we improvised and turned them into full songs. I try to record everything.
It does.
Yeah. So I think we're open to however song comes beaming down to us. And it doesn't always take the same path.
Oh, I gotcha. Just a heads up that I got the 4 minute warning from Zoom, so we're going to jump back on. And
Okay.
Okay.
that, so just when it cuts out and that, I'll restart as fast as I can.
Thanks, Jeremiah.
So from there, I'll wait for that one to come and that. So what would be sort of like those? Is do you like certain venues to play at? Is it one or two that sticks out more that you guys prefer to play at?
I think we like Harvell's a lot here in Santa Monica. What do you guys think?
I think Harvell's is probably where we get that's free. We can kind of take more liberties than usual. And what's the other? Was it Jameson's? There's another one out in Venice or San.
Jameson?
Yeah. And that's what, especially when certain crowds kind of just, they seem to be a little bit more loose, alcohol or not. They're just kind of like, they're there for whatever. So, those are for me, the more preferable.
Yeah, we're just starting to get back out there in a more, steadier way. We got a gig coming up with a few bands April 2nd that we're really excited about. That'll be a little bit more of a coming out party. That's a Trip here in Santa Monica. But we're gonna head back to the usual local venues, the Mint, Skinny's, Federal Bar, Cinema Bar. Maybe we'll be back at the Redwood downtown. We're just gonna, as we're gonna start to emerge from this thaw of COVID, we're just gonna see. you know, um,
No, I understand. Gotta start off a little and just it's just going to sort of be that like booming year for almost like everyone.
Yeah,
Then things,
absolutely.
jumping into things last minute.
Good thing is that everybody is so starved for live entertainment again. So they're amped up. You know what I'm saying? So that's good.
No, it definitely is good. So from there, if you had one venue that you could play at anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Ooh. Keith, you're the world traveler. What do you
Right.
got?
It listen, the problem with that for me, that question is challenging because you would think it'd have to be with some place that's big and you got like thousands of people in the audience rocking back and forth. But it's not that. I like places like festivals where maybe it's like kind of a medium crowd and it's like more of a it's like a cultural thing, you know what I'm saying? So you maybe if it's like, I don't know, like a Coachella or something like that, those type of events kind of appeal to me more, just because of the whole tribe aspect of it. Make sense?
No, it's a lot of people. Like it's sort of like a third thing when it comes to that. Like many people say Red Rocks.
Mm.
Couldn't be bad. Juice, you
Yep.
played outside lands in San Francisco with Patrick Page. What was that like?
Pretty wild. It was pretty wild. It was like literally in a forest. It was in a state park.
Well,
And just these huge trees, and we just walking around. It was amazing. It was great. Yeah, I think I prefer festivals, but I really think it just
Ooh. Let me get back. Of course. Oops. There you go.
tapping back in.
Yep, technology for you at the finest.
Right. We still waiting on Aaron and Juice, Jeremy?
Yep. We'll get into some juicy stuff here in a second too.
Okay. Jeremiah, I like your posters, bro. You play guitar?
I did for my junior in high school year
Uh-huh.
or senior year.
I know you got some black lights in that room, right?
No, I don't have any
Those
black lights.
those posters are made for black light, bro.
Well, the funny thing is, I got it at Mark's
What?
discount
What?
store. Yeah,
Yeah, those are dope. I like them.
because those were many moons of probably like 10 plus. Well, no, probably 5+ years ago.
Yeah, no, they're kind of fly, man. You got the stars and the peace symbols on one of them.
Eh, well, besides the other one.
Oh wow. See, I need to deck my place. So I got like a basic studio set up here, my gear, and but I need some more like swag like that.
Oh, the funny thing was only like $5.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way, bro. It looks dope. I'm just telling you. I'm looking at it from my first impact. I was like, oh, I like that. And you played guitar many moons ago. You don't play at all now?
Nah, I haven't probably picked up a guitar in at least 10.
Oh snap! Crazy. See, I would probably like I wouldn't be able to not play. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just have to. But when I'm not playing, I mean, there's been dry spells while I was doing Uber and stuff. Not playing is like something's off and I can't put my finger on it until I play again. I'm like, oh, this is what it was. I just needed to be playing. I'm talking too much. This interview stuff. Let's not, I want to waste it.
Oh, I gotcha. Let's see. Those guys haven't jumped on. But yeah. Sort of go with that whole like concert venue thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's many people that sort of stay sort of like that mid low key of not really that big, but like Brad Rock's a local place and that some
Mm-hmm.
people sort of jump
Yeah.
bigger scale.
And it's weird because you would think like, oh, the more people, the more money and all that stuff, which is probably true, but the satisfaction is different, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. Definitely is true. Let me check. Let's see if I got email from them. Nope. So they must be working on it.
Mm-hmm. That's so crazy. I was having the hardest time logging in. I tried
I
it on
know
my
you're the first.
and now it's working fine. Like, but I did reload. I did have to reload the Zoom app onto my cell phone. So maybe the upgrade did something. I don't know who the hell knows.
No, I feel it.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Oh, here we go. Hello. Or depending with that, let me jump. I could jump to a track. Because they wanted to play, was it Holly by you guys?
Holly.
We'll jump to that while I answer Aaron here in a second.
It's a local music spotlight here on Lake Effect Radio. Captain Danger, Holly.
So what does a man do to make love to you? And what does a man have to prove? So what does a man do to make love to you? And what does a man have to prove? Holly, she's not around. When I look into her eyes, yeah, Holly, she just heads uptown. Though it seems that she might cry, why? She never lets me know. So what does a man do to make love to you? And what does a man have to prove? So what does a man do to make love to you? And what does a man have to prove? Holly in the rain, like she stepped out of a dream. Yeah, but Holly just the same. She'll never know just what she means. Oh, hate to see her go. So what does a man do to make love to you? And what does a man have to prove? So what does a man do to make love to you? And what does a man have to prove? If you ever get the feeling, it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. So what does a man do to make love to you? And what does a man have to prove?
Okay, no one can stop us.
To make love to you. And what does it make
There he is.
hearts to grow?
As you were saying,
Like baby.
who was talking? Was it you, Jeremiah?
Juice.
No, it was playing that track. So we actually did play Holly. Figure while you guys were jumping on, we would do something productive.
Good.
You know. Besides, yeah, we came up with now how to save the world and, yeah, many other things, and not including teleporting capabilities while you two guys were off.
Good. Well, I applaud your productivity. I'm sorry I'm not there with you yet.
No worries. See, this is what happens in between our missions. We come up with, the new world, most greatest thing.
Perfect.
So, from there, for venues, at first this might sound a little backwards, but if you could either write or no, I'll go. That's a different question. Okay, this one of if you could have anyone open for you that inspires you, who would it be?
E-Day?
No, I want to pass on that for now. I have a thought, but you go first on that one.
Wow. Well, I was listening to Shaka Khan the other day, and I was thinking, man, there's a voice. So she would be on the list. Roy Haynes, the jazz drummer, is still alive. Got to give him props. Paul McCartney, still there. Stevie Wonder is still doing their things. Roberta Flack is still here. But Keith plays with a real cool artist named Dame Funk. That would be a fun bill. Juice is playing with the awesome Sir. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question, Jeremiah. What do you got, guys?
Grateful Dead.
That would definitely be cool.
What about you,
Parliament.
Keith? Parliament, yes. George Clinton.
I like all of those guys. It's a couple of cats I like out there. It's a good friend of mine, Wild Jones. He's kind of a dope producer, arranger cat that him and like Adam Blackstone, cats like that. It's something, and this is kind of weird, but like when they do these big shows and everything and they rearrange songs, I'm a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? So I like the way they're kind of like mixing genres and adding the theatrics to it. So it's almost like taking a song and turning it into like a Broadway play production or whatever. So when you see those cats doing that kind of stuff on the VMAs, on these different award shows and stuff, I like that type of experience. So any of those guys involved would be kind of cool for me.
That makes me think of the band Scary Pockets.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
they're dope too.
They're great. So our friend India Carney, the singer, she sings with us on our version of the song Boys Don't Cry, has done a bunch of things with Scary Pockets, including you might have seen their real cool version of Creep by Radiohead, but it kind of sounds like Talking Loud and Saying Nothing by James Brown, which I thought was a real cool turn of events. They're kind of like that, aren't they? That's a band that tends to do that in a fun way.
Cool. So from there, so if you could either perform with or collaborate, or well, I know I'm sort of switching my words around on it. So if you could either write or play with anyone that inspires you, who would it be?
I would. Oh, again, Stevie Wonder or Paul McCartney are pretty top of mind choices that just kind of jump out of my mind. But Man, that's a great question. Corey Henry's a really interesting artist too. Her, Billie Eilish is pretty cool. I don't know. What do you think, Dave? Who's on your mind?
I like so much of this new stuff that's coming out now. So some of the cats that are producing for like, I mean, this is gonna sound weird coming from me, but Doja Cat. I know I just like that type of stuff too. Who's the guy, Ronson? That
Mark Ronson from.
yeah, I like that. Pharrell, Timberland. It's so hard to even like narrow it down to any one artist or producer that it's almost not fair, Jeremiah, to ask us that.
Hey, Keith, I've been meaning to ask, would you ever do a bass duet with Mono Neon? The
Mono
crazy.
Neon is dope. I would
Yeah.
I would like to see Mono Neon do anything, man. Like he could take this interview and make it into a epic song suite or whatever.
Yes, and I hope he does. Thundercat, another very interesting bass player.
Absolutely.
How many strings does he have on his bass? Is it 6, Keith?
Which bass?
Okay.
He's got so many basses. I know Thundercat not really well. Well, I can't say it. I've been knowing him since he was like 17, but he's an amazing cat. That guy is so dope on bass that I didn't realize he was that dope as a producer and writer. So shout out to Thundercat.
Juice, who would you want to work with, man?
Too many names. Too many names, man. But off bat, I feel like I would like working with Calvin Harris.
Oh,
He's a
good call.
producer, DJ, and he makes like a lot of stuff that is like feels good. Let me say it like that. It feels good. Either so Calvin Harris, and I think Captain Danger. It would be interesting if we did something with like this is gonna sound crazy, a little bit. I'm on guard or whatever, but Square Pusher, the drum and bass producer, like that would just be crazy.
That would be crazy.
I gotta add to that. Hey, Juice, let me piggyback on that too, because I can't forget about Disclosure. I love those cats. So he brought up Calvin. How could I leave out Disclosure?
Yeah, you know what else? I should mention, Jeremiah. We have collaborated and will collaborate again with the insane German DJ Flula, who you might know from Suicide Squad and Conan O'Brien and Pitch Perfect 2. We're actually about to start working with him again, so look out. So his thing is fun. So I don't know. I can see more stuff with Flula on our list, gentlemen. What do you think?
Flula's funny too, man. He's a great actor. Great chemistry there. I think that would be dope.
We also worked with Olivia Olson, who some of you guys might know from Adventure Time. She is Marceline, the Vampire Queen on Adventure Time, and she's been on some other stuff too.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Jeremiah, you've heard of our stuff. Who do you think we would be good to be paired with and from your musical genre?
I was thinking, yeah, Paul Beatles, and that's a huge thing. Is sort of like now mainstream stuff. That's really hard. That's something I would need a coffee break on and think of.
Who would you encourage us to pursue to try to collaborate with? Oh, you guys should really chase after X or Y or Z artist. Anyone we should be pursuing?
Like collaboration necessarily?
Even in assuming anything was possible, who would you tell us you got to go work with X or Y or Z?
Because well, not completely. A little bit of sound sort of reminds me of one of the big local acts we have around here. Carla or Carlo, or is it Carlos Jones? I'm blanking on. He's sort of like a reggae ish form.
Uh-huh.
in the scene.
Cool.
But he's
You
more
mentioned
sort of, I mean, he's drifted like really left on that. You guys, occasionally you get sort of the sound, but not really. You know,
you mentioned Matchbox 20 as one of the artists that you particularly liked. I noticed when the singer collaborated with Santana, things went pretty well for him.
no, true.
Maybe he's someone, if we were smart, we would chase after, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Or
Should be no
even
problem.
sort of early Maroon 5. Not really his nowadays stuff.
Yeah, they had a way of mixing genres that's kind of
Pull
fun.
ahead in.
I'm with you.
See,
I like
just
San-
need a little bit of a coffee break on it, but it came. So,
That's like a multiple choice question with thousands of options.
I know. It's like it's really hard.
So Jeremiah, at the radio station, do people send you videos as a way to make you want to explore their music? Is that something that happens often?
It's sort of, so out of let's say 100, I would say like a quarter of it's either that or they send their audio. And that of, hey, we have this new single, and that if you like what you hear, quarter of it we go out and search the local who's playing, or well, really sort of the local charts. Then it's some of the other third of, well, we see who played with somebody, and then sort yeah. Then it's either Spotify that just goes randomly and go
Yeah,
off of something like that, looking sort of like some small stream like band and that's not a mainstream band, and just start listening and saying, okay, okay, then yeah. It's sort of, it's not a complete, it's sort of like even between that. It's like four different ways.
I see. We definitely found, when we put out a record, that making a video was the good thing to do, and the fact that we made a video that was kind of oddball with a retro science part of it, that sci-fi part of it, that was definitely a good idea. Um,
No,
so
it's
I
definitely unique. I haven't seen that yet in many of the like sort of smaller stream videos necessarily. That's
yeah,
not underneath a brain, like a Harris and Maroon 5 and all that other stuff.
yeah,
That was the first one I ever seen.
cool. I think making a video that's a little different is definitely a cool thing, and we're actually thinking about making another one coming up for our song "Come On, Come Along." Uh, so that may even combine some live stuff from us with animation, if we can make that happen. Uh,
We got the technology, anything's possible.
Oh yeah.
yes, yes,
Especially because you say you had the enterprise, so it's
yes.
obviously you have the technology now. It's just doing
That's right.
it.
If billionaires can go to space, three idiots can make a video.
True.
Good one. Too bad I'm not in the studio because I would have had like the da da button that I would have nailed.
Since we're talking about like hollow ports and all that crap, maybe we should think about doing a concert in the metaverse. That'd be dope.
That's right. Whatever that is.
Not true. True, true. So, from a year from today, what do you want to see you guys accomplish?
Guys, are we going to get our new record done and out? What do you think?
Absolutely. We're going to get it done. It's just at this point, it's just a matter of like, as soon as we decide we're going to do something, it can happen. So, because we're not really that limited in any way, shape, or form. You know, we all write and produce. You know, time is like it is an issue, but not so much so that we couldn't get it knocked out. But I think it's not something we're gonna rush. I think it's gonna be like we're just gonna have that coming together, meeting of the minds. It's not like, okay, here's a dope idea and jump on it and just knock it out, much like the last album happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm optimistic too. I mean, we've got a few songs mostly done for the new record. But we don't want to rush it, you know. You want to make that statement that's fun and is exciting and is the best version of X song or Y song that it can possibly be. Once you commit it to a record, you want that to be, you want to be happy with it, you know.
Yeah. But like me, even being sort of the perfectionist that I am every once in a while, that sometimes doing that, I could be my own worst critic. It's sort of that finding that fine line.
Indeed. You know, the guy who started Patreon, who also plays in Scary Pockets, Jack Conti, talked about at a certain point, you got to publish your work. You know, it's not that you're done, you abandon it and you publish it and you let it go and you move on to the next one. You never, in a way, you never fully finish it. But as a band who plays songs live, it's true. Every time we play it, it's a new chance, it's a new beast to take on a new life, you know?
Right.
Not sure. So that's, well, probably a year and a half prior to the pandemic. Some of the bands around here, they sort of had, yeah, the fine, all put together CD copy of, yeah, their song. But then on their live ones, every once in a while, sometimes they sort of did that. Sometimes they added a little more twist to it. Then it was, I forgot who it was that always put like sort of a new twist on it each and every single time they played it live compared to the recording.
Yeah, that could be fun, man. To add something in. We certainly like to do that, you know.
That keeps people entertaining. Not when it's like, oh wait, I didn't hear this the first time.
Right. The little nuances that change from time to time.
No, it's true. That sir just grabs the people. So, so from today, in 5 years, where do you want to see the band at?
I think we definitely want to have more luck with getting our songs in TV and film, and we've had some already. Um, so we want to do that. Another thing we've thought about is trying to do a thing where we are the band for like, you know, like a talk show or something like that. I did a little bit of that with something called Comedian Cinema Club. You know, some of today's coolest artists like Jean Baptiste, you know, The Roots, they've done that. I don't know. That might be
That
one.
would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I think that's on our list. Um, Keith and I have been talking about an animation project that, of course, Captain Danger would be doing all the music for. I don't know. World domination is on the list. How's that? But in a gentle, fun way, not in a Vladimir Putin way.
Or you could just go with Pinky and the Brain.
That's what I was just thinking. To try and take over the world.
And see, minds think alike.
Right.
So, see, we'll just go to that reference, forget the Putin thing, and just go that way. Because, especially nowadays, many kids that would be like way over their head until they go put it in YouTube and realize it. So, from there, so besides sort of your current show on April 2nd, do you have any other different sort of shows that you have, or like a tour you're planning this summer as sort of that come out of, hey, we still exist after COVID?
We're just working on that now. We've been a little tentative, you know, until this point. for here in California, they've just got rid of the mask mandate for school kids. So I think we're just on the cusp. So if you talk to us in a month, we'll have a lot more dates and a lot more specificity on that. But we're going to keep the local things happening, in the next 2 months, and hopefully we'll get that video far along too. And then I do hope we'll have a summer tour thing happening. So stay tuned.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Besides, do you have any sort of besides sort of like an album, are you going to sort of put like any single releases leading up in this year?
We might. We'll definitely, for the album after this, we'll definitely do the single and video trick as we did. Come On, Come Along is a song we'll also probably release as a single. And then we might try a few offshoots. Keith has a song called Not Your Typical Sex Fiend that Juice and I are trying to get him to record, maybe under an alias. So I don't know, man. What do you think, E-Day?
It could happen.
Okay.
It could happen. And the crazy thing is like, one thing is like albums and LPs, all that stuff is great, but look for some special, like you said, offshoots, some other content. Because, we might have a viral video or something happening, in the near future. We got some stuff up our sleeves.
That sort of seems to be the motto with people this year.
Yeah, stuff up the sleeves. We're about to put out some live videos from recent stuff, including some of our Sunday night review things where we adapt David Bowie or Motown or stuff. So those are coming up, along with whatever offshoots we can do, as Keith just said.
So from there, except this time I'll actually give you more choices. So what would be the top 3 of your children, talking as your CD right now, what would be the top 3 songs from your current album?
Well,
Skinny
obviously,
dipping.
right. Skinny dipping's going to be on the next one. We often have open shows with that one, but from this release, probably Come On, Come Along, Holly. And I don't know, guys, what do we think about the song Hollywood Douchebag?
Oh, that's a fun one. That would that one ages very well. I'll say that.
Another contender might be the song Too Tough to Say, which kind of takes a look at political strongmen and the concept of figures who are too tough to say that they're afraid. I think we're all really thrilled with the way the recording came out here on the CD, and the way Juice nailed that feel on the drums in a way that I don't know, it just seems like an achievement musically for us. All of Iday's amazing layered vocals and harmonies he came up with, some of which we're able to pull off live. So that might be a contender too.
I gotcha. So, with your album art, how does that sort of get developed? Is that amongst you guys?
We worked on it together. We called together some of the photos we had taken at various performances. And then for the cover, we licensed a photo, that's a good 50 years old, of this crazy circus performer who would do jump roping on a skyscraper in downtown Los Angeles. That is not photoshopped. So we thought
I thought it was. Darn.
No, that's real. That's a real photo, from 50 years ago. But we found something that summed up the playfulness and the danger of the musical adventure we're trying to take. So that's what that cover image is about.
Fair. So, before we run out
I
of
thought it was
time,
about hanging out with ladies.
One more time, Juice.
I thought the underlying meaning of the photo was hanging out with ladies. You know, like
Juice gets right to the
no.
heart of the message, man. Right to the heart of the message.
well, you always got to have that one that just is
I'm
that
here.
straight shooter and says, "Yeah, bam."
Boom.
Just too bad he doesn't have a
I
mic
thought
that
it
could
was
just
hanging
sit
out.
there and say,
She's on the. She's on a tightrope, hanging. She's a lady. I thought it was. I thought it was a. I thought it was a cryptic thing in there, but maybe I was just
But one thing
on
we
my
can
own
say
mission.
about her, she's nuts.
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely the type of women that come to our shows.
Yes. If you're
She
crazy,
reflects.
come on by.
Right.
"Well, to a point."
To a point. Correct. Not too crazy. Fun crazy.
Well, fun, enjoyable, crazy. Yeah, the
Hey,
crazy,
man,
crazy.
sometimes it's good. It's good to get a little crazy, just to see where your limits are, guys.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's true. Definitely is true.
I'm just joking, man.
No, it's
Joking, fellas.
all good.
Do you want me to jump to another track too while we're on?
Sure. How about, can you play track 1? Come on, come along.
Yes. Or wait, I don't have it on here. At least on my computer.
I can. Do you need to? You're gonna edit, right? So I can send it to you if you don't have it.
Well, I probably have on this computer up yonder, up in Kirtland, but on my actual laptop.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, no, I do. Come on. I just can't read.
It's a look.
Well, that's the problem. I'm looking at a folder with like this much tracks in it. I got what? 1,000 something tracks. So
Oh yeah.
so here comes come
Oh
on, come
yeah.
on.
Local music spotlight here on Like Effect Radio. Captain Danger, come on, come.
Oh, hello.
So Jeremiah, you edit this together later. Is that how you do this?
Well, sort of sometimes. The only thing is I was actually trying to play that live.
Oh. Okay.
I just paused it because yeah. Well, that's a problem thing doing shows remote. That I don't have all the fancy things I can take conversations offline.
Got it.
So I'll see if I can slip that in to the gap or into that gap.
This is amazing, man. We got to get out there. We got to get out there to Ohio, man. Get out there, man. Jeremiah.
We're on the way. It's gonna happen. One
Well,
of these
you
days.
never know. We got many different things go. Well, like right now, because we got it's called Wonderstruck. That it's an outside event that actually is using a property at the college, and they have at least 3 or 4 bands from your guys' direction, or 5. I know it's at least 2 or 3 from California.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you just get linked to that.
Right.
we need to find that plug.
Yeah.
Uh,
Besides, yeah, we got the
Yeah,
Rock
man.
Hall down the street and many other things.
Man, put us on, man. Put us on game on what's out there. I never been to Ohio. That's one state I never been to.
Maybe we
Hey,
can play on Dave Chappelle's farm, that thing that they do out there. That'd be dope.
That's right. That's right.
Yellow Springs.
yeah, we got many different venues down in Cleveland. It's like where we're at. We're like, what, 35 minutes or so from Cleveland? So, yeah, you got the Rock Hall, then they have different acts and that play in there. You have different venues downtown between the garage shop and, you
Cool.
know,
Cool.
the whole nine
We trying to
yards.
find. We're looking for the parties, Jeremiah. Put us on to the parties, man. We know you know it all.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's kind of hard to find out what parties still survived.
That
I
part.
know.
Okay.
If you were like 2 years earlier, then that would be an easy conversation.
Or maybe a year ahead, right? We'll see.
Or yeah, or if you were, yeah, if this was like a year from now, it would be a little bit more easier since everything's sort of coming out of hiatus.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
hard to
guys
tell.
hard to tell? Do you guys ever stream like live performers from around the world or locally or
To a point.
cool?
To a point, every so. Because that's like the one hard thing with us compared to many, like Cleveland State, Kent State, and that. They have staffs at their station at least 100, if not more. Us prior to the pandemic had 42.
Wow.
Right now we're at 20.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. So compared to a year ago that we only had 10.
Right.
So
It's probably gonna bounce back, right? I mean, you'll be back at it before you know.
yeah,
By the way, do you need any station IDs from us?
if you guys could, that we actually do, and not including we throw, I'll grab instrumentals out of your tracks
Okay.
and toss it behind it. So whenever you do like yeah, the station like IDs, or if you want to do, hey, whether I don't know if you want to do it as a group, individually, if or one of you would say, hey,
I
we're
think I
from
know which
Captain
one of us.
Danger,
Yeah.
you know, you can find our stuff on if you want to shoot your website, social media, you know.
Cool. Do you have something specific you want us to say from you? Because we did a series of them a little while ago, and Keith is killing it on the station IDs.
yeah. I was killing.
Killing it, man. I'm actually not joking. But so if you have stuff you want us to say, you know, Lakeland College Radio, blah blah blah, let us know, or just email me and we'll get it to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's gonna probably be yeah, like a while you're listening to Lake Effect or insert well, I'm Keith from Camp Danger. You're listening to Lake Effect Radio.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that. We don't since we're not FM, we don't have call letters and
Okay.
all that. So yeah.
All right. Coming up.
So sort of makes it a little bit more easier. Something we're working towards.
Indeed.
The only
That's
thing
great to
got
have.
set back like 2 years. Yeah, that whole COVID thing like set everything back like 2 years.
So I see we're counting down. Do you have a last question for us, Mr. Jeremiah?
So from here, I'm trying to think what I haven't that I had really juicy off the top of my head, and that Um, what was it? I'm blanking on it.
Uh-oh.
I
All right.
know this never really happens every once in a while.
Don't get nervous, Jeremiah. You got it, man. You can do it.
I know because I've been doing it for so long.
All right.
So,
Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it.
what was your favorite or first instrument?
My first instrument was the piano. What about you, Juice?
Oh, I forgot to mention kazoo and all that and recorders don't count.
Oh, shit. Well, never mind.
For me, it was the piano. What about you, Juice?
The spoons. I learned how to eat my cereal
In time.
with in time. In time, I learned. Now I'm a natural born percussionist, man. I grew up beating around stuff with little wooden spoons and whatnot. You guys remember the wire brushes with from the cleaners with the little paper bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to remove the bars and act like they were drumsticks because I didn't have any.
What about you, AD? When did you start on the sousaphone, Keith? When was that?
Oh, you're gonna bring that one up.
Yeah, of course.
Well, first of all, I started out with like a little toy play piano and then toy guitars. Me and my younger brother both. And then, yeah, at a certain point, we went from guitar, bass, violin, trumpet. High school was sousaphone,
Oh,
and then back to like bass and a little bit of keys. So the sousaphone was crazy. Marching band.
it looks kind of hard, but it sounds so good.
Well, you know what it is? I'm a skinny dude, man. I've never really been like pretty much a little skinny dude trying to blow on this big sousaphone. So you get winded. You know what I'm saying? So marching and hitting them low notes.
No, it's like tuba.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing, but just bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger, and is it a little more of a different sound, Keith? Or is it sound it's just with the way the bell is?
You know what? It is a little bit of a different sound, but basically for me, it's just played the same. It's just the embouchure with your mouth and lips and all that stuff. That was the hard part in being able to support those notes. So, but it was cool. It was a lot of fun though. Marching with that big thing. I have a picture of that too. Stay tuned.
Yeah. I think if you ever check out the Roots on Tiny Desk Concert, I think the song they do is "Pass the Peas," and that's just a walking advertisement for everyone should learn to play the sousaphone. So I recommend you guys check that out. So fun.
Yeah. Since we have now under a minute left, it's been a pleasure having you guys on before
Thank
you
you,
get cut
Jeremiah.
off again.
Thank you.
The
It's been a
pleasure's all
pleasure.
ours.
Notley, you know where we live. Ever have or with new stuff coming out, if you want to get on,
Will
yeah,
do.
you know where to find us. Yahtzee.